Examination-based contact session for English and Academic Communication Skills 2 for 2021. I am your tutor, Mrs. R. Davids. Dear students, the examinations for 2021, April, August and November, are compiled by using the study guides of the following courses: DPPE, Diploma in Pre-Primary Education; DJPE, Diploma in Junior Primary Education; BESP, Bachelor of Education, Senior Primary; DES, Diploma in Education, Secondary; DSE, Diploma in Secondary Education. Examination. The following is important information for the examinations of the whole year. Format. The duration of each examination will be 2.5 hours, and the scripts consist out of 120 marks each. It is important that you answer all the questions with subsections. Study material. All these study guides can be found on your Kindles. Study guide for DPPE Eacs12, study guide for BESP Eacs12, study guide for DSE Eacs12, study guide for DES Eacs12, and study guide for DJPE Eacs12. Additional is the English Handbook and Study Guide by B. Lutheran and M. Pincus. The content of some study guides are exactly the same, and references will therefore be the same. Some students will also be referred to the Lutheran book that has to be used as indicated in their study guides. Some students only have to use the Eacs study guide. References will be made from this guide as well. General information. Please make use of old question papers and feedback of previous assignments and examinations. There you will find questions and answers that could be of good use in your preparation for assessment. Important. All answers consist of facts that you will have to study from your study guide, as well as the Lutheran book for some students. For the language structured questions, you must understand the spoken and written language as well. Understanding the questions. Every part of information can be assessed in a number of different ways. The examination papers are set up in 3 levels. Each question usually starts with a verb. Please pay special attention to the verbs used. These will guide you to what action you are expected to perform. Failing to perform the correct action will result in low marks or the loss of valuable marks. Instructions. Very important. Some students write everything in capital letters. Only use capital letters as indicated in the Eacs Study Guide 2.1.2 and the Lutheran book on page 10. This is very important for you when you write letters, essays, grammatical sentences, etc. I must be able to see whether you know how to use capital letters. Very important. The paper is set up so that you write on the paper itself. Some students write way too much and unnecessary information, while others write too little information. The number of lines given is a guideline for the expected length of your answers. Also look at the marks allocated to each question to determine how many facts to write to obtain the correct marks. When you have to change sentences to the passive voice, indirect speech, or into the past tense, please only write the correct sentences. It can be very confusing to the marker if you rewrite the given sentences and then the answer. The lines given are only enough to accommodate the correct answer. The scripts for 2001. References are done according to the Kindle, as all the students have the Kindle. Page references for the Lutheran book are also given. If you do not have access to the Lutheran handbook, please contact the Iol office or the tutor for assistance. The references given are for all students. See which refers to your own study material. The memorandums provide answers from all the study guides. All information will therefore be credited. Where applicable, students' own relevant ideas will also be credited. Please note, Only one presentation will be recorded for the examination scripts of April, August, and November. There will not be a presentation for each examination. For the April, August, and November examinations, concentrate on the following. References are not done in any particular order. The following are what you might get in any of the 3 examination scripts. Passages. You will be given a passage in each examination script. The following is what you will have to do concerning the passages. You must read a certain passage very carefully and then answer the questions given in full sentences. For example, what did the man see on the table? The man saw the blue book on the table. Please concentrate on correct spelling and punctuation and the use of correct grammar. Half marks will be deducted for the incorrect use of these. Or you must read a certain passage very carefully and then answer the questions given in 1 to 5 word answers, short answers. For example, the blue book, 5 apples, under the big chair. Unit 1, Linguistic Constructs, Verbs. In your Eacs Study Guide, 1.1.1.2 and 1.1.1.3. In the Lutheran book on page 28 and 29. You must know the difference between finite verbs and auxiliary verbs. Or you will be given auxiliary verbs to use in order to finish given sentences. Words will be given such as doesn't, do, didn't, does, don't, and did. Or you will have to replace the word got where best suited in given sentences by using the given words. Study verbs for each exam. Nouns in the Eacs Study Guide 1.1.2.2 in the Lutheran book on page 16. You will be asked to give one example of each of the following types of nouns. Collective noun, the name of a collection or a group of objects, people, or creatures. In general, collective nouns refer to a group of something in a specific manner. Often, collective nouns are used to refer to a group of animals, for example, a gaggle of, herd of, a bevy of, and a colony of. Non-countable noun, something you cannot count, like milk, water, coffee, etc. Common noun. Common nouns refer to general, unspecific categories of entities. Names given to ordinary objects, for example, table, chair, woman, tree, etc. A proper noun. Proper nouns are nouns that refer to specific entities. Writers capitalize proper nouns to show their distinction from common nouns. Name of a person, place, or thing identified with a name, for example, Yabu, Rundu, Coke. Or you will be asked to list common nouns and proper nouns under the correct headings. Pronouns. In the DJPE Study Guide 1.1.2.2. In the DPPE Best and Best for those students in the Lutheran book on page 19. You will have to choose suitable pronouns to make the given sentence less repetitive. For example, Anna wants Anna's book so Anna can study. It changes to Anna wants her book so she can study. Relative pronoun. In the DJPE Study Guide 1.3.2 under clauses and in the Lutheran book on page 20. You will have to form 2 sentences using relative pronouns like whose, which, when. The first sentence must be a statement and the second sentence must be a question using the same relative pronoun. For example, he will tell me when he's ready to meet me. This is a statement. When are you coming? This is a question. Remember that the question always ends with a question mark. Prefixes and suffixes in the Eacs Study Guide 1.2.2 and 1.2.3 in the Lutheran book on page 46 and 47. You will have to complete words in sentences using either the correct prefix or suffix, or you will have to circle the prefix or suffix in each given word, or you will be given prefixes and suffixes to complete given words. or you will have to choose a suffix from the box to finish the underlined words in sentences. Prefixes may create new words or antonyms. Prefixes come before the root of the word. For example, engage changes to disengage. Suffixes are word endings. They modify the words to which they are connected and often change the part of speech of these words. Suffixes come after the root of the word. For example, free changes to freedom. Study this for each exam. Tenses in the Eacs Study Guide 1.4 in the Lutheran book, page 28. There will be underlined words, verbs in the passage. These words are written in the past tense. You will have to write down the present tense forms for these words. Or you will be given a sentence written in a simple present tense. You will have to change it to the simple past tense and then the same sentence to the simple future tense. For example, she sits on the chair changes to she sat on the chair, and it changes to she will sit on the chair. Study this for each exam. Figurative language in the Eacs Study Guide 1.5.1.1 and in the Lutheran book, page 40 and 56. You will have to match each explanation to the correct type of figurative language given, or you will have to identify which types of figurative language the given explanations belong to. Study this for each exam. Direct and indirect speech in the Eacs Study Guide 1.6 and in the Lutheran book, page 38. You must be able to change sentences either to direct or indirect speech. When you change sentences from the direct to indirect speech, you must leave out the question mark and inverted commas. Pronouns change. For example, my family changes to her or his family. Tenses change. For example, Mary said, I am feeling good today, changes to Mary said that she was feeling good that day. Adverbs of time change. For example, Mary said, I'm feeling good today, and the today changes to that day. Study this for each exam. Active and passive voice. Study Guide 1.7 and in the Lutheran book, page 32. You will be asked to change sentences from the active or the passive voice to the passive or the active voice. In the active voice, the subject of the sentence does the action. In the passive voice, the object becomes the subject and is having the action done to it. For example, the boy, which is the subject, kicks the ball, which is the object, over the wall. Now it changes to the ball, the object, is kicked over the wall by the boy, the subject. Study this for each exam. Articles in your Eacs Study Guide 2.1.1 and in the Lutheran book, page 23. You will have to use the articles a and the to complete the given sentences. Unit 2, different types of writing. Capitalization, Eacs Study Guide 2.1.2, Lutheran book, page 10. You will have to rewrite sentences using the correct capitalization. For example, my name is Linda and I live in Windhoek. Please always underline the words that you capitalize. Visual literacy, Eacs12 Study Guide 2.8 in the Lutheran book 1.1.1. You must be able to describe visual literacy. Sentences and paragraphs, Eacs Study Guide 2.2.1, Lutheran book, page 71. You will be asked to write a paragraph of 70 to 100 words on a given topic in one of the examinations. Wrong format, poor grammar, spelling and punctuation are the main cause for loss of valuable marks. Do not skip lines within a paragraph. Always double check for these errors. Or you will be asked to write a report of 70 to 100 words on a given topic in one of the examinations. In the Lutheran book on page 81 to 83, you will get the reports. You can also use the internet to see how reports are set up. Structure and style of letters in the Eacs Study Guide 2.3.1 and 2.3.2. In the Lutheran book, page 77 and 78. Official or business letters, personal or friendly letters. Study the features and the parts of letters. You could be asked to do the following. Describe the features or parts of these letters. Here you can just list the facts. Or you can discuss the differences or similarities between the features of certain letters. There you must clearly point out the differences or similarities between the two types of letters. Do not simply list the features of the two types of letters. You must indicate what the differences or similarities are. One description after the other is not pointing out the differences or similarities. If a table form is used, the differences or similarities must still be clearly pointed out. Do not only write words or short sentences without clearly pointing out the differences or similarities. To explain the differences, the word while and but can be used to separate the two types. If asked differences, only discuss differences. If asked similarities, only discuss similarities. You will be asked to either write a personal or an official letter on a given topic. Make sure you know the structure of each of these letters. Poor grammar, spelling, and punctuation are the main cause for loss of valuable marks. Always double check for these errors. Study this for each exam. Spelling. Common grammar mistakes in your Study Guide 2.1.4 and in the Lutheran book, page 132 and 133. You will have to choose the correct spelling in each sentence and underline it. Also, you study or find out why Namibians experience problems with the use of the English language. In the DPPE Des and Best Study Guides 4.2.1. Punctuation and apostrophe. Study Guide 2.4.1. In the Lutheran book, page 10 and 13. You must be able to name some of the different types of punctuation marks that are used in everyday writing. Or you must study how the apostrophe can be used, and you must be able to join two words or show possession using an apostrophe. These are called contractions. For example, we have changes to weave. She will changes to she'll. Or Susan's dress, the boy's shoes. Or you must know the most common functions of punctuation marks. In your Study Guide 2.4.1 and in the Lutheran book, page 10. Study this for each exam. Progress reports. Study Guide 2.11.2. DPPE Des and Best Study Guide 4.5.2. Progress reports are common and critical documents in science and engineering. See your respective study guides for their facts. Editing process. Study Guide 2.12.1, Lutheran book, page 74. Study how you will edit your own work for correctness. It does not matter whether you are busy with an assignment, examination, or just writing a note or a WhatsApp message. You must always check what you have written. Formal standard writing. Study what you can or cannot use in formal standard writing. In the DJPE Study Guide 2.2.2 under a note of formality. DPPE Best and Des Study Guides 4.7.1. Unit 3, Academic Writing Conventions. Academic Literacy in the Study Guide 3.2.1. In the Lutheran book under Essay Writing on page 75 and 76. You must be able to differentiate descriptive writing, narrative writing, persuasive writing, and expository writing. This means to indicate similarities and differences regarding particular criteria. Or you must be able to describe the purpose of descriptive writing, narrative writing, persuasive writing, and expository writing. And this means to provide detailed features of each. Study academic literacy for each exam. In each exam, there will be a different question concerning the four purposes of academic literacy or essay writing. Academic writing style. Study what makes writing academic. The JPE Study Guide 3.5.1. DPP Best and Desk Study Guides 4.7. Guidelines for writing summaries. Eacs Study Guide 3.6.1 and Lutheran Book, page 83. You must be able to explain the techniques for writing a summary. A summary is produced to show a tutor that you have read and understood something. This must be done in a particular way. Mind maps, Eacs Study Guide 3.7.1 and in the Lutheran Book, page 71. You will have to explain what a mind map is. Mind maps can be of good use when studying. Unit 4, the use of the APA referencing system. The concept plagiarism. Eacs Study Guide, page X11. DPPE, Desk and Best Study Guide, on the page X1. X1 is on page 8. You have to answer some questions on the concept of plagiarism. Or you will have to explain what is acceptable or not and what is allowed when doing your assignment. Too many students still do not understand what plagiarism is, how it happens, and why you cannot commit plagiarism when doing your assignments. In each exam, there will be a different question concerning plagiarism. Study plagiarism for each exam. Ways to avoid plagiarism. Quotes, Eacs Study Guide 4.1.2, DPPE Best and Desk Study Guide 4.8. You will have to describe the use of quotes in academic writing. General rules of APA citations. Eacs Study Guide 4.2.1 and 4.2.2.1. DPPE Best and Desk Study Guide 4.8. Study how you will compile your APA reference page, or also study how to compile a list of references. Please note that the reference page and the list of references are not the same. It differs a little. In each exam, there will be a different question concerning the APA referencing system. Study this for each exam. Number 3, examination, exam preparation and writing tips. Exam timetable. Make sure you know what rooms your exams will be in and what time they start. Consult the IOL officers for those details and not the subject tutor. During the examinations, write your details as requested. Read the exam paper a couple of times to make sure you understand the instructions and questions. Make sure you answer all questions. Do not dive into writing without first reading the entire paper. Calculate how much time you will spend on each question and stick to it. Please make sure that you answer all 4 questions with the subsections. If time permits, check your answers, spelling, punctuation, and use of grammar. Emergency. If you happen to fall ill during the exam session, immediately notify the invigilator for correct action to be taken. General. Obtaining high marks in your assignment does not guarantee high marks in the examinations. You now have to make sure you know the content of the assignment and other information from the study guide to do well in the examination. Make sure that you have all the information you get from the context sessions and the feedbacks of the assignments and previous examinations. You will find very important and useful information in these. Please study hard for the upcoming examinations and to be successful. If you need my help on something, contact me on my email address below. If you state what you do not know or ask a question, I can give you a well-constructed answer. I also have a document with important information extracted from the English Handbook and Study Guide, which you will be able to use. I can also send information via WhatsApp on your cell phone. Always state which course you are doing, please. DJPE, DPPE, BESP, DES, or DSE. I wish you all the best. From your tutor, Rita Davids.